Well, hello, Unlimited Wisdom family and friends and members. I thank you so much for jumping on here. Craig, he comes up with great ideas all the time, so he thought today would be a really good one. Is just to really hone in on you become what you think the most. You know what I mean? And there was a couple of audio clips. I'll go through a little more of them after we get done here. I mean, after the clip gets done. But Scott, thanks for getting on here. Melody Star, Dustin, Corky, Mary, Ben, Matthew. I'm sure I always think of Hannah and Ez in the background. Michael and Angela, Coach Bob, Bev, Lisa Marie, Freddie, my lovely wife Terry, of course, the hostess with the mostest, Craig Jackman. So we're gonna tee up a video here, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. Hi,
Does it
Faith.
matter which one is first?
It does not.
Don't speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke. Your words are energy and they cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. Change the way you speak about yourself and you can change your life. Don't speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke. Your words are energy and they cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. Change the way you speak about yourself and you can change your life.
Yeah, one of the things I think that there's when you really think about this topic, this time I get to say think, because it's a concept called renewing your mind. And one of the things that, and Bruce Lee saying that, I forgot in that clip that he said that when you say something, I'm lazy, this will take forever, I'm frustrated, I'm confused, whatever thing that you say, I'm lazy, that you're casting a spell, that you're casting a spell. And one of the things that's very powerful about this is for those of you that are believers, everything was created with words. Let there be light, and there was light. So if you ever look at anything out there, it's not only these words that we say out of our mouth, but here's the three-step thing. We think it, then we say it, or today's world, we type it. Isn't that crazy? We actually are going back and forth to the chat with somebody, and you're like, I can't believe how much of an idiot I am. Well, you're thinking that, and you didn't say it, but it came out and typing. And then a lot of people know this next step, but it's like, as your heart is, so are you. So it goes from a thought to talking to when you talk or write it, then maybe your ears hear it. And when your ears hear it, it makes your heart that way. So we always hear of people that have like a hardened heart, right? Hardened heart is just very simply is just being angry and bitter all the time. You're just constantly, you know, being the victim, not taking responsibility, telling everybody, oh, woe is me, and just repeating and repeating and repeating your tragic story, your victim story. And you guys know people, and I know this will sound crazy, but I used to be one of those people. It was like I was apologizing up front without saying I apologize. But I'm like, listen, let me tell you why I have a bad attitude, a chip on my shoulder, and I'm an asshole. The reason that I'm all these bad things is because this stuff happened to me. So it's almost like, I'm taking the right to be that way. I have a reason to be that way. And don't you guys find it right now if you watch anything on social media? Man, you just have these people that every word out of their mouth has to deal with some kind of vengeance. You know what I mean? It's like there's just spewing straight out disgusting evil stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like you're going like, wow, I've been mad before, but I'm not constantly saying this stuff. Great, thank you, Lisa Marie. Venom, absolutely. And again, now they even have it used to be a troll, but now it's the what? The rage merchant. So here's a question that I have for all of you, and I would really like you to write this down. Is you just really, really say to yourself, it's like, what have I done today to change the way I think? Or maybe another way of saying it is, do I think different? Do I think different? Because if you think different, how many of you know that if you have a thought, it does change the way you feel? They have done so many studies on this. And it's like, now they've done brain scans. Now they do live brain scans of people where they ask you questions. They put pictures in front of you, and then they just watch your brain change. Now, we all know this now, but we didn't know it before. But how many of you guys know that your brain can see a picture, and then once you see a picture or a short video, then it changes your thoughts, which change your feelings, which changes the chemicals in your body, right? And so I have been this way where I've seen something, and then when I've seen something, immediately I had just a really, really awful thought. And I'm not talking about kind of evil stuff, right? But I remember one time, this is before I realized that everyone is scamming online or sending out stuff, but I actually got a message, I remember, in my Facebook. And it said in my Facebook direct message to me is that because of what you posted online, we've now terminated your website. We terminated your Facebook. And when I seen that, it was not only I went, are you serious? But I actually had like an icky feeling in my gut. It was like right here in my core. And it was like this instant flash over me of like, no way. It just like, I'm sure Lisa Marie had that feeling as soon as she seen Freddie go sideways. You know what I mean? As soon as that parasailer went sideways, you know what I mean? It's like, this is not good, right? Right? And so, us being human, I can guarantee you that thought of Lisa, as soon as she seen the jump first by the quad pulling, and it looked like it almost threw him out of the damn thing. And then all of a sudden he starts going sideways and started going down. If I was there and I work hard on this, I know that I would have had the same thoughts as Lisa Marie. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? It's like this is not going to be good. Is that a good thought? That's not a good thought. This is not going to be good. Right? I'm sure Lisa Marie probably had some little worse thoughts, right? It's like planning a funeral or something. And it's like, shit, you know what I mean? And it's just this feeling that just goes over you. And so one of the things is, I know that you guys have heard this, this is very powerful in martial arts, is that you have to develop what is called muscle memory. So, they always say in any sport that if you think about what you're doing, you're in trouble. What that means is that you've done it muscle memory so many times that when something happens, your reaction is muscle memory, not you thinking. You guys catch that? It's like if a guy's throwing a punch at you or a kick at you, your mind doesn't go, oh, put up your arm. See what I mean? That you're knocked out. That's too late. It needs to be a reaction. It needs to be an instant reaction. Well, now to talk a little bit about, what personal development, all the stuff that I've learned is that you have to do that with your mind. Your muscle memory is if this happens, this is the way you react. If this happens, this is the way you react. I know this is sort of a negative subject, but you know that the person they brought it up about this person that shot 3 people in Idaho, not too far away from us, at the In-N-Out Burger, right? And there was a guy that when he seen the guy with the rifle and he heard a pop, that his first reaction was to grab his pistol and get out of his car and hunt the guy. That is not the normal reaction of people. Do you guys? And there was another person on the other side of the In-N-Out that did the same thing. And it was an off-duty police officer. Isn't that crazy? So as soon as he started firing, they said as soon as he did like 4 or 5 shots in the Tesla, and then he let go and turned around and started going for the In-N-Out Burger, is that he heard other shots going off and whizzing by him. How many of you would think that that would change your mind of what's the next step for you? And so as he was walking, he shot into the In-N-Out Burger and killed 3 people. You know what I mean? And wounded, I think, 6 or 7. But I know it's a bad example, but again, everyone was going, like firefighters, it's like, God bless you, Coach Bob. It's like, there's people like me in my life, and I'm not bragging. This is giving God all the glory here. I'm one of those people like a firefighter. If there's fire, I run toward it. So my sons, it was funny, in a house that we lived in, they thought they knew one of the kids that came in over the house all the time. He would take stuff.
He would tear the tags off the Beanie Babies.
Yeah. So he would play with the Beanie Babies, but he would tear the tags off of them.
They're no good without the teeth.
All right.
Tags.
But I think it also took some of the stitching out, and beads are falling out of them too, right? So when he came over, they took their Beanie Babies and put them on top of a tall lamp that he couldn't get them, right? So then they're playing in their room, and when they go in their room, they turn the light on, and it had a halogen bulb in it. So it started the Beanie Babies on fire, right? And so all I heard was them running downstairs, and I don't know if Terry's seen it first or whatever, but it's like when I came around the corner, the whole stairwell going upstairs was glowing. And it's like once I knew her, and I believe we had Misty at the time, when I knew that her and the kids were outside, then my deal was I immediately ran back in, and I knew where there was a fire extinguisher. I ran up the stairs and started putting it out, and got it totally burnt out, put out. We had to use a lot of, I don't know if you guys know it, but there's actually fire paint. It's a coat that you have to put on a wall when you have a fire in a room, and you actually can coat it to get rid of the smell so you can put new paint back on it. It's pretty interesting, right? And we were leasing the house, so but we could have lost a lot of stuff, and thank God, I'm the kind of person that when I see something, I run toward it. But I know that what that's from. That's 1,000% from my martial arts, right? So what do you do on a daily basis? So I'll give you one more. Oh, in fact, Craig, let's watch that other video. And everyone be patient. Craig says that Instagram acts stupid when you're trying to share a video. So hopefully with the incredible technical talent that Craig Jackman has, we won't have any issues here.
Stop your negative self-talk. Listen, the stuff you say to yourself turns into structural changes that your brain makes that begins to automate thoughts and feelings that feed back and make you believe that those things you say to yourself are actually true. So knock it off. Talk to yourself inside your head like you would talk to somebody you love, not to your enemy. Clean up your self-talk. You'll start building a brain that generates more healthy, automated thoughts and feelings. That's what we call self-brain surgery. Thoughts become things. The things you think about turn into the stuff that happens in your real life. So clean up your negative self-talk. Talk to yourself like somebody who loves you, and give yourself a chance to change your mind and change your life. I'm Dr. Lee Warren, hopefully your favorite internet brain surgeon, and I'm reminding you that your self-talk turns into what your life looks like. So clean it up. God bless you.
That was awesome, wasn't it?
Better than the first one.
He got longer to talk. So hi, Shelley. Hi, I think everyone here. So thanks for jumping on here. But again, there's one other one that when I first heard this, it really, really, really pushed me hard. And someone said to me that you want to think of your younger self. And would you say the stuff that you say to yourself to your younger self when it was a child? So would you look at your younger self as a young boy and a young girl, being in their full imagination, and just walk up to them and say, you're stupid, you're an idiot, you're lazy? You would never, ever do that. So I love that. Not only can you can think about talking to your younger self, but you also, like he said, if you wouldn't say that to somebody you love, right? You just wouldn't do it. And so the last part that I'll share with you guys that I think is very, very, very important is the concept of, the first time that I heard or read that, the things that you listen to, it is to meditate and pray all day long. And my thought was, how can you possibly pray all day long? You know what I mean? That when I first heard that doesn't make sense to me at all. And now, after all these years of me having a ritual of always getting up and listening to worship music, right? The thoughts that I have in my head when I'm not saying anything is usually lyrics to a worship song. The earworm, right? The constant earworm. So if I'm doing nothing and my brain is not engaged at all, usually 100% of the time, the stuff that pops in my head is singing a worship song. Does that make sense to you guys? And then I also spend an hour every day listening to Washed by the Word. So all the time, the thoughts I have in my head is, one of those audios within there, talking about certain scripture, certain things. And so there is ways that each and every day, if you only listen to one worship song, if it's not a worship song, when Terry and I first started getting plugged into this, my mentor had a whole list of just very, very positive, upbeat songs, right? And there were songs that usually all the lyrics within the song were things telling you, you know what I mean? That you're a winner, that you can do all things, blah, 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 blah. So I'm sure that I haven't done this in a while, but I could look for that file. I'll look for that file. I'll probably find it. But, when we went to seminars, they always had this whole list of songs that they played at an entire 2 or 5 day seminar. And every one of the songs were, The Magic in You, or can you think of any? Did any pop in your mind?
But there are regular songs that you hear on the...
Yeah, there are songs that have been...
that you've heard over and over and over again, The Eagles, and what was the lead singer of the Eagles? He's got, he would play...
Glenn Fry?
No,
Henley.
Henley, Don
Oh,
Henley.
Don Henley, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you play that song to yourself every day. You guys know, I put my playlist together and I have it on my YouTube channel, and I'm constantly adding songs to it, constantly adding it. And so again, I guess there's a couple of things that you have to say you agree with, right? So, do you believe that lyrics to a song can actually affect the way you think and feel? All right? Because there's probably some people out there that are going like, I listen to a song, it doesn't do a fucking thing for me. You know what I mean? We got the what the rage merchants and the trolls, right? And the people that say that, nothing works. you know, so there's so first I think you need to in your mind just go, hey, what I think does affect me, and I'd rather think positive things, I'd rather think good things, I'd rather think of things that would change my thinking, because I guarantee one thing: if you look back at yourself a year ago and you pretty much all day, every day think the same way you think now, I can guarantee that your life didn't change much. Does that make sense? It just totally makes sense. And so, there was another thing, Craig. I know that, based on all the stuff that we talked about, there's something that I think, no, I don't think I know that you thought of that we could talk about on here. I need you to bring it up for me so I can talk about it.
I don't have that with me at the moment because I think you said that you were going to do that next week. Today was
No,
mostly just what we become, what we think
oh,
about.
it's Strangest Secret.
Strangest Secret. There we go. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we brought this up a couple of days, but again, one of the things I talk about doing an assignment, doing something that so you can do something small where you can get some wins, and say, if we believe in our heart of heart that thoughts are things, right? And what we think about the most actually happens. Here's the funniest thing I do all the time, as I'll tell people, well, listen, I'd like you to listen, pick a time a day. If you don't think time, I'll send you a graphic. You do, take the time to look through, and journal your days to prove to yourself that you are lying about yourself. And wouldn't that be a thought? A thought would be, I'm busy, I don't have time. Another thought is I have plenty time to do the things that is required for me to be the best person I can be. I can always find time to do things to make myself a better person, a better spouse, a better parent, a better sibling, right? A better friend. I always can find time to do that. Instead of, I don't have time and I'm busy, I don't know where I can fit this in. So when things were introduced to me, like The Strangest Secret, the person that I got introduced to from The Strangest Secret was Bob Proctor. And Bob Proctor said that, he got the LP and he had a mobile record player. Why would you have a mobile record player? Because you couldn't listen to audio any other way. And so he said that he would listen to The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale over and over and over and over and over and over again. So I'm the kind of guy, I know I'm weird, but I'm the kind of guy that says, if Bob Proctor says that when he first started his personal development, that he read The Science of Getting Rich and he always listened to The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. See, I'm not the kind of person that goes, well, that's stupid shit. That's just not me. It's like, how fast can I get the strangest secret in my hand so I can listen to it? So when you see how long it is, I think it's like 30 minutes. And then you got to make a decision. Okay, look at your day. What time of the day, when you can set an alarm on your phone or whatever, that when it goes off, you're shutting down everything that you're doing. Because this is part of discipline. This is part of reacting. When something's ready to go, you stop what you're doing and do that thing. Right? So it's like, I was taught by people that had the whole word NOW, no opportunity wasted. So it's like, when should we do this thing that we're talking about? Right now. Let's not talk about doing it. Let's do it. Right? And so, pick out a time where you can listen to the strangest secret. And when you do, see if you can do it for 30 days. Just see if you can do it for 30 days. The reason why it's so important is not that it's the information in it, I think, is so super powerful. Every time I listen to it, it's like constantly in my mind and in my heart and in my spirit. It's like, uh, uh. It's like I remember talking to a person one time and they go, man, you can't even tell the difference between a good and a bad weed. Like, I wonder, there's got to be some weeds that are really, really dangerous and poisonous. And I said, yeah, like nightshade. You know what I mean? And the guy looked at me and he goes, nightshade? I haven't even heard of that. And I said, well, it's the most poisonous weed out there, most noxious weed out there, kills every plant. And he's like, how do you know that? And I said, because I heard it like 1.3 million times. You know what I mean? And guess what? How do you know that? I never Googled it. I just, you know what I mean? I never AI'd it. I just believed that Earl Nightingale at the time that he said it, it was probably true. He probably did the research to find out, But again, it's so cool for you to get a win. Say, hey, I listened to this for 30 days. And again, one last thing I'll say about that. I'm really good at doing this technique. And again, I don't remember who I heard it from. It'll come to me if they deserve credit or need credit. But if I catch my mind, which is a lot, if I take a couple of deep breaths, I close my eyes. Of course, I don't have my phone or my browser or anything open. And I tell myself I'm going to focus on every single word that is said. And when my mind drifts, I start the audio over. And today, I had to do it 2 times. So I think I'm relaxed. I do my breathing. I believe that I'm relaxed. Then I kick back and close my eyes and hit play. And as soon as I hit play, I think of something. And so what I do is I'll hit play again. That starts it at the beginning. And I've gotten good enough that I'll do it, then I'll go a little longer, and then I'll have a thought, and I realize that I'm drifting. I'm not listening. I'm not focused on the word. I'm not, wow, listen to this word. I'm not fucking listening. It's playing. It's playing. I'm not listening. Do you guys get that? It's like, it's running. I'm thinking about going out to dinner with Terry. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. So I'll do it again. And now it usually is not more than 2 or 3 times, and then I'm locked in. And I can actually put my mind in a place where I'm actually 1000% listening. And when I'm 100%, 1000% listening, I find things and hear things I've never heard before. Because I'm not distracted and drifting while I'm listening. So, how many of you guys would think that it would be cool to really hear, which means hear it, it's in you, in your spirit? How many people would think it'd be really good to hear every word on The Strangest Secret? What I mean, can't you see? It's like, listen, that's all I'm going to do. So, and I'll leave you guys with this one thing. I of course, I clicked on a Eric Tolley video the other day. So don't you find it interesting that you actually are in control of your algorithm? Because you pick out the times that you want to watch things, but then it picks up what you watched last and what you watched after that. So then, of course, because I listened to an Eric Tolley video, it's like every person that has an Eric Tolley video is now on my stream. So now I can hard up on that. So I consciously will hard up. And the title got me because the title said, "Are you really meditating?" And so Eric Tolley said, "You're not meditating." And I've never heard this before. He says, so for those of you that meditate, if you get an alarm goes off and you look at your watch and you say, I always meditate at 2:00 and I got 30 minutes, so I'm going to meditate. He goes, that's not meditating. Because meditation has nothing to do with thinking about time. And I went, holy shit. Because I have designated time to meditate. And when I meditate, do you think that I think how long I'll meditate? I surely do. I 1000% do. So while you're meditating, how many times does the thought of time come up? And so his whole concept is being in the present, being in the moment so you can go into your deepest part of meditation. You'll never get in your deepest part of meditation if you're timing your meditation. I just went, shit. So he's going, Terry listens to her affirmations and meditation stuff when we go to bed.
And I always fall asleep, but that gets into your subconscious. I've heard of people having The Strangest Secret on loop. Put it on when you go to bed, and it loops over and over all night long as you're listening to it with your subconscious. Yep.
Thank you. Because you just made me have another thought. Always do. It's like, how many of you guys have said stuff in your life, and then you find out when you get older in life that you were just bullshitting yourself? Let me tell you one that Terry just brought to my mind. It's like the first time that I was told to listen to an audio at night. That audio had a person speaking. It was a Bob Proctor video. It's the video you're supposed to listen for 8 hours while he's talking. Guess what my mind said to me? There's no way I can go to fucking sleep while someone's talking in the room.
We did it for a couple of nights, and then he stopped. He's like, I can't do it. And
Is that a thought, or is that real?
It's a thought.
It's a fucking thought. So me not thinking about it, Terry's like, I'm going to listen to these. And I'm going, okay. I don't know why I said okay. I just went, okay. And she put it on, and Rhonda Byrne's talking. No problem whatsoever. So why can I fall asleep now and listen to an audio at night of people talking, and I couldn't in the past? Was it the audio? Was it the person? What was it? You know, how many of you people know people that can fall asleep while they're watching TV? You know, I'm going like, Terry falls asleep while there's fireworks going off in our front yard. Whole room's lit up. Shakes the house.
I don't care.
Terry's gone. So we'll be watching a movie and she goes to sleep while we're watching the movie, and it's
not as stimulating as it should be.
it's like a war movie. You know what I mean? With explosions and stuff going off. And she's like, she's not flinching, nothing. She's out of here. So I really hope this helped you guys. I'm going to share with you something that I have on my YouTube channel. This is one of those things in deep thought that I was challenged to write a mission statement. And so some of you have seen this, and so I'll just copy it all. Nope, I just need to copy that part. And then I'm going to read it to you. I normally would let Craig read it, but I'm going to read it. We stand by the following fundamental principles. To achieve profound and lasting results, to transform your life in extraordinary ways, and to embrace new ways of thinking, feeling, and acting. We encourage you to listen to new voices, to ask new questions, and to immerse yourself in new states of imagination and emotion. By taking new actions, you'll achieve new results and gain a fresh perspectives. There you go. And so I can't tell you guys how many times I've read that and go, I need to update my mission statement. And I read that out loud to myself and I go, no, that's it. For things to change,
You have to change.
you have to change. There's a really good quote out there that says, if you don't like the way things are, change the way you see them. Because how many of us know that usually we don't have control over changing things? So how many of you have thought or said something, and usually for me, it's easy to talk about, it's always like food, where in the past you could say, you know, the thought of eating sushi just isn't happening, or whatever it is that you have. And then I was that way, and then I had a guy that told me he just knew so much about the sushi restaurant. He's going, listen, every time I come into town, I want to go to the sushi restaurant. And I go, listen, I'm not eating sushi. And he's going, no problem. He said, do you like steak? I said, yeah. He goes, do you like seafood? I went, yeah. He goes, I'll just have them whip that up for you. You can just ask him, hey, this guy wants filet and he wants lobster and he wants some shrimp. So just make him a plate of cooked stuff. And so we went there. And because when I said to him, I don't like sushi, his first response is, no problem. I'll have the chef make something that you want to eat. That sort of like took a lot of pressure off me. So then when he's getting stuff and he's eating it and making noises, oh my God. Oh, I'm like, well, what the hell is that? And he goes, do you not like sushi because you know what's in it? And I said, yeah. And he goes, and why do you want to know what's in it? So then you immediately can say, ah, shit, I'm never eating that. He goes, why don't I give you a piece of sushi and listen closely? When you put it in your mouth, if you don't like the texture, the way it feels, just spit it out. Just grab that little plate, put it underneath your chin and spit it out. He says, we'll throw a napkin over it. And I went, I can't. That's not going to bother me. So I put it in my mouth and it tasted good. I started chewing it. It tasted even better. And I ended up swallowing it. And I went, wow, that was really good. He goes, I still think that I shouldn't tell you what it was. He goes, can I get you just to focus on this roll that I got? Tastes good. And what a great lesson to leave you guys with. You know what I mean? Because after my second piece of that and I liked it, what do you think that I did? Can I have a piece of this roll? And sometimes you could see what was in it, you know, like a shrimp, a piece of salmon. But if I could go there to eating at certain sushi restaurants where you do what is called the chef's choice. So you go to the sushi restaurant and you just say, I want what the chef decides. And when they bring it to your table, it's some of the thinnest slice raw fish you've ever seen. It's not even sushi.
Sashimi.
Yeah. And you grab a little piece of that and you put it in your mouth and it frickin' melts in your mouth. It's just amazing. And so, you know, of course, there's people out there that go, I'm never going there. And I bet you it's based on thoughts, right? So I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much, Faith and Shelly, Scott, Melody, Star, Corky. Thank you so much, Mary, Ben. Great to have you on here, Dustin, Jim, Deborah, Matthew, Hannah, Ezra, Lisa Marie, Michael, and Angela, Coach Bob, Terry, my sweetheart, and the hostess with the mostest, Craig Jackman.